Hey, welcome back to the channel. My name is Kajol, and for those who don't know, I am a Big Four consultant working here in the UK, and today I have an insane video on assumptions about consultants, and I'm going to be providing the UK version, SuccessBySanjna, as well as Kchoi, who are these absolute legends on YouTube that you need to check out. They're going to be providing the Australian viewpoint and the USA viewpoint to the same exact assumptions. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Christina, or Kchoi here on YouTube. I'm a change management consultant at a boutique consulting firm, and I work remotely out of New York City. And on my channel, I make videos about consulting, careers, and general lifestyle related content. And I'm really excited to be doing this collaboration. I hope you'll come check out my channel after you watch this video, of course. I'll see you soon. Bye.
Hey guys, my name is Sanjna and I currently work for one of Australia's Big Four banks within the risk assurance space. Prior to joining the bank as a risk manager, I was working at KPMG and I was working within the risk consulting or internal audit division. So if you are interested in knowing a little bit more about the Australian work culture and the work life, then be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and my Instagram page, Success by Sanjna.
So the first one is they are overworked, they get no sleep, and no work-life balance. So I think 80% of the time this is false. You definitely do have work-life balance. I think majority of the time I have finished around 7 to 8 p.m. 80% of the time, and then manage to see my friends or do whatever afterwards. But 20% of the time, that 20% of the time, you definitely do get little sleep. There have been times I've worked till 1 a.m. Another time I worked till 4 a.m. And right now I've been asked to join a meeting on Sunday because my client's in the Middle East. So sometimes you do get the boundaries blurred, and I just don't think it's as bad as bankers, for instance. But I do think that the European countries do work-life balance much more better than, our peers in America. The next one is that it's all glamorous and aesthetic, and people love to over-glamorize consulting. I don't know why, but here in the UK, if you're waking up at 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. to catch a flight or a train, that's not glamorous, especially if you're doing it on a Monday morning. And then if you're working post 9 p.m., you do get to get free dinner and free taxi, but it says it all if you're working post 9 p.m. And the only thing I would say is glamorous is probably the socials you get, because the socials in the UK firms anyway, they pay to, for your drinks, they pay for your free food, sometimes even like a little, event, like paintballing or something like that. And that social life to consulting is absolutely amazing. But a lot of the time, you're not really traveling in glamorous vehicles, and if you are traveling, you have to, for instance, go in economy as a consultant unless you reach a certain grade, or you can only be business class if you're going to really far away countries, so not that glamorous either. So the next one is that consultants are good at maths. Now, I don't understand why people feel that to be a good consultant, you need to be good at maths. The only time you need to be good at maths is the mental maths in case interviews, especially for strategy consulting. Otherwise, you have Excel and you have a calculator. So there is no need to be good at maths. There may be some times where you need to build business cases or where you have to do profit and loss accounts, but that's a lot of the time in financial consulting, or if you're director and partner when you're building the business cases, to be honest. So you don't need to be good at maths. There are different types of consulting for people who are good at maths, for who aren't good at maths. Definitely check out technology consulting, operations consulting, if that's your thing, if you're not good at maths. But yeah, I don't think you need to be good at maths to do strategy either, to be honest. I've never used it in consulting to this day, which I'm a little bit sad about, to be honest. Monday, first flight out, and Friday, last flight out. So in the UK, we are a small country, and firstly, most big firms have offices in other countries, so why do they need to fly you out? And then also secondly, you just train everywhere in the UK. So you end up working Monday to Thursday, majority of the times on client site. And I think that's going to change. I think more of the time it's going to be in the office, and Friday you end up working in the office or working from home. I definitely have had a mixture. So I worked a lot of the time on projects just in my office and gone to client site for workshops. But there's also been times where I've gone to Southampton and trained it every once a week, Monday to Thursday, and Friday I worked in the office. So my firm, they've also merged with the Middle East. So now I'm getting Middle East clients, and that means I get to fly to Dubai. My first client project was in Switzerland, but I definitely do think that international opportunities aren't as much as people think in the UK specifically. Arrogant and know it all. And I really hope I don't come across as arrogant, but I definitely don't think I know it all. I do think some consultants I've definitely worked with think they're the shit and, oh look, I'm a consultant, and feel like there's prestige to it. I definitely don't think there's anything to be prestigious about, firstly. But secondly, when people can see that you're arrogant, and people can just see right through it, and you're not going to be someone who's liked by people, and hence I don't think you'll do really well in consulting. I also do think that people think consultants are good at everything, great at nothing, which is true to some extent, where we do have to have a wide expertise and wide knowledge, but we call this the T-shaped individual. You have like a broad spectrum of like high level basic skills, but there should be one area which you've really specialized in or have deep knowledge about. So that's also slightly wrong, actually. And then people also feel that as a consultant, you're just making slides, doing Excel all the time. Definitely not true. You have technology consultants, which are developers. They're people who are doing testing work, people who are even doing design work and coming up with wireframes and stuff. So you're not always using Excel and PowerPoint. You're using things such as Jira and Confluence, and it's really dependent on what part of consulting that you do. So the next one is that consultants probably had no idea what industry to go into post-uni. Commitment issues, which is very, very true. I think this is a very common one with consultants. I mean, you expect us to finish our university, come out and realize what we want to do for the rest of our lives. That is not the case. So a lot of people go into consulting because of the variety of work. You can try out different industries, try out different types of work, and that means that you can then decide what you do like and you don't like. And lots of people use consulting as a stepping stone. They get all the training and they get all the different types of experience to realize what they do like, and then they kind of just jump into whatever one they want to go into. So you can use that when you join consulting. So yeah, I definitely think this one is true. So the next one is you can't work in consulting with a mediocre or low GPA. Now, this is very contentious in the UK because EY has been the first Big Four firm to have totally scrapped CVs. So you are not filtered based on how much you got at university, which I think is great. And I definitely know people who got into Big Four firms with a low GPA, so with a low, like with a 2.2. And I have heard about the odd one or two who've got into Mackenzie with it and into, you know, some of the MBB firms, but that's because they've totally wowed it on other aspects in terms of extracurricular activities or achievements. I do think though that it's easier to get into consulting with a low GPA if you are an experienced hire compared to if you go through the graduate scheme, because a lot of graduate schemes have really strict guidelines on what they want. Experienced hires is all based on your experience and what you've learned and what skills you developed rather than your GPA that you got. So that is something to consider. All right, next one. You must be extroverted. Now, I think I am an extroverted person, so it's a bit hypocritical for me to say this, but you definitely can be introverted in consulting, and some of the best consultants I know are introverted. And just the whole stereotype around, hey, they take a step back, they actually process their thoughts and say something really powerful. Like when they say things, people listen because you know they're going to be saying something worthy. Whereas extroverts, you know, can come across a little bit like in your face, a little bit fake sometimes as well. So introverts are well respected as much as extroverts as well in consulting, so do not let that stop you from applying. We get paid well. I disagree. Okay, so I think that in America, you get paid 2.5 times the amount that I get paid for exactly the same company for exactly the same role. So I think I get paid massively, like underpaid, but I think also for the amount of hours that we work, we definitely do not get paid well. You can just calculate that. So I'm not going to dwell too much on this, but yeah, pay could be better in the UK. So the last one is it's a career path which you shouldn't stay too long in. And I feel personally attacked by this one because I am 5 years nearly into consulting. A lot of people leave when they finish a graduate scheme in the UK, and they also leave in the UK from consultant to senior consultant because that's when the biggest pay jump is. I do think that in the UK, to make partner in consulting, it is difficult and it requires like 20 years in the game, at least, at a minimum, I think. So I feel like, you know, either you're in it for the long term or you leave early and then you go to another firm or industry to get that deep specialism skills. Because when you go from the senior consultant to senior management, we call it, senior consultant to senior manager, you get the shit sandwich, essentially, where you kind of got upwards management, you got downwards management, and it's like the worst years. So a lot of people leave consulting when they go from senior consultant to industry, then they get to like director in industry and they come back to be like director and partner in a consulting firm. I do think that consulting requires a lot of effort to do long term, and especially as a woman, I don't know if I want to become a mother, can I do the lifestyle? If I have, kids, can I do that? Probably not. The long hours and the commitment you need to have to the job and to your clients, it is really difficult to balance this alongside kids, alongside having a life outside of work. So I really hoped you enjoyed this video on the UK version to these assumptions. If you want the Australian and the American version, go check out Kchoi's and Success by Sanjna's videos, which I've linked in the description box. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next week. Toodles!